I'm Marty Nemko. This is another of my fictional short stories. This one is called Roommates. Everyone said I was crazy to quit my job. One friend was shocked. You're going to give up a job in the federal government? Good salary, amazing benefits, and unless you do something stupid like say something racist, lifetime job security. But I was bored. Glaciers move faster than government. To get my friend off my back, I said, with Trump, I may lose my job anyway, or at least a job with such good benefits. Anyway, well, I was still young enough, 37. I quit my job as a program data analyst and used my savings to go to art school. I didn't realize it turned out to be a 5-year summer camp, which I paid for using nearly all my $80,000 savings and $129,000 in student loans. And while I didn't think an Art Institute diploma would make me rich, nowhere in the college's very beautiful website did they even hint that an Art Institute degree is merely a hunting license for a job with big game, rare indeed. What the website did highlight were smiling pictures of a few success stories. So I had like $1,000 left in savings, which meant I couldn't afford the rent even on my small apartment in a so-so neighborhood. So, because I like artsy types, I browsed the apartments to share ads in the Art Institute's listings. There were dozens. I guess I wasn't the only starving artist. I interviewed for 2 places and got rejected from both. They couldn't say so, but I guess they didn't want an old fart to interfere with their youth culture. But finally a yes, and from somebody who definitely is part of the youth culture. Pat has not just pierced ears, but a pierced lip. Not just tattoos, but tatted up arms. It was a humorous art show. Maybe a government job didn't fully kill my sense of humor. Up front, Pat said, "You need to know that I am non-binary." It felt a little in your face, but we clicked on the politics, encapsulated as down with capitalism, up with communism, so I moved in. But it didn't take long to get into our first individualistic battle. One bed was close to the street and so noisier. We both wanted it. Pat said, "Let's not be hypocrites. The collectivist way is to alternate nights." I said that I have trouble sleeping and that the nightly change, as well as the noise on alternate nights, would make it hard for me to be awake enough to work well on my portfolio, let alone to market, which I tend to procrastinate. Pat said, "Well, then we'll alternate weeks. You'll have more time to get used to each side." I didn't want to be individualistic nor start out fighting, so I shrugged. Pat took the quiet side first. Then, like so many roommates, there were the issues of cleanliness. We made up a chart that divided the chores, nice collectivism. Alas, individualism again quickly trumped, pardon the expression, the communal. It reached ahead, pardon the pun, with the toilet. Most of the time, when it was Pat's turn to do it, Zay conveniently forgot. Pat corrected me whenever I would say he, she, or even they, so I got myself in the habit, Zay, Zay, Zay. But we really got into trouble when I got a $100 gig to paint a protest mural on the side of a commercial building. I would have thought that even Pat would have been glad, but no. Zay muttered a dishonest, "That's nice." And a half hour later, cheerier, she chirped, "Hey, we should treat ourselves something good. Kale salad, tofu, quinoa, they're getting old." I said, "So the $100 is our money?" She walked away. When my father visited, it was obvious that Pat and I were not getting along, and he asked, "Would you like me to facilitate a little problem-solving session? I am a psychologist." But Pat smirked. "Facilitate is hierarchical, so male. Convene a meeting is inclusive, and I have agency. I don't need you to facilitate me." My father said he was sorry and asked if he and I could take a walk. When we got outside, he asked, "Would you like to come live with me?" I nodded. I went upstairs to tell Pat, who shrugged. "Fine, I'll find a better roommate." Anyway, that's Roommates, a fictional short story. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 35 books. Perhaps most relevant is A Dose of Reality, but all 35 are on Amazon. In any event, I thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.